today's shenanigans in the YSL trial. Now, on the stand is Detective Viverito, and she does not want to be filmed, even though her pictures are all over the internet. But we tend to believe that she does not want you to see her body language because she's been on the stand. This is her second day on the stand, and I don't think that she has really told the one truth since she's been on the stand. This is disturbing, to say the least, because these are the people that are put in office to get justice for people that crimes are committed against. Now, in this case, in this YSL trial, they are trying Yak Gotti and Shannon Jackson Stillwell for some red rumming, and they clearly did not do what they are claiming that they did. Just look at the video, listen to see how biased Detective Viverito is, and you cannot sway her one way or another, but she has been admonished by the judge more than 2 times. So that says a lot. So anyhow, and also in today's video, we are kind of going to go down the rabbit hole a little bit because we want to know, the people want to know, the attorneys on the defense side want to know, where is the missing Richard Mille $500,000 watch? That is the question that we want you to answer, Detective Viverito, because you are the one that is seen in the video taking pictures of the Richard Mille watches. There was 2. Now, one was put into evidence, and the other one, she's claiming that she put it on the shelf after they took a picture of it and they left it in Mr. Williams' house. Hogwash. Alcohol. Bullshit. Okay? And I don't mean to be too hyped, but I just don't like this. You're supposed to be upholding the law. You took an oath. You swore that you were going to protect and serve. And right now it's looking like y'all done stole some stuff. All right, I'm just going to come on right on out and say it. Y'all done stole some stuff. And I do believe that the culprit of the thievery is Detective Viverito. Y'all take a look at the video. I'm out. I'm going. Fair use, law and crime. Thank you for the video. Fair use.
Permission to approach, Your Honor.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you DK16. Do you recognize the individual in that picture?
I do.
I'd like to admit DK16 into evidence. Permission to publish? In Exhibit DK16, who do you see?
Dwayne Carter.
And Dwayne Carter is also known as Lil Wayne, right?
Yes.
Okay. In the image that is on the right side of the 2 photographs,
Yes.
you see his arm there, correct?
I do.
Do you see ESPN on his arm?
I do.
And what do you maintain that the ESPN, or do you know what the ESPN on his arm stands for?
On him, since he's not a member of YSL, I couldn't tell you what that stands for.
But he is not a member of YSL, correct?
Correct.
And yet he has ESPN on his arm.
Correct. Like I could have a star, Bloods could have a star. Different tattoos mean different things to different people.
So the ESPN on his arm could mean ESPN, the sports network, correct?
As not being a member of YSL, yes.
So if you're a member of YSL and you have ESPN on your arm, are you saying the only thing it could possibly mean is your interpretation of ESPN?
That's what I've seen it mean thus far with members of YSL.
And that's the only thing you believe it could mean?
As far as members of YSL, yes.
So the fact that my client was a football star at Grady. Okay. Do you know if my client played football at Grady?
I do now.
Do you know if my client got a scholarship to University of Georgia as a football player?
Objection, so effective.
I'm asking if she knows it.
Sustained. You can ask if she knows whether it's true or not.
Do you know if my client got a scholarship to the University
I've
of
heard
Georgia?
that.
You've heard that. Okay. And so would you find it surprising that someone that got a football scholarship to the University of Georgia might like ESPN, the network?
I mean, they could like it, but I don't know if I'm sure he likes other TV channels also that aren't tattooed on him.
So if it's tattooed on you, it must mean ESPN, that you're a member of YSL. You just said that Dwayne Carter has ESPN on his arm, but he's not a member of YSL.
Sustained.
You just said that ESPN on Lil Wayne is not a YSL insignia, correct?
Correct. Like I could say, you can see a college sorority girl with a star tattoo on her, right? And then you can go down to the prison and see members of blood gangs with 5-point stars tattooed on them. It's going to we look at everything on an individual basis. So I can't make that determination. When it comes to YSL members, when you see ESPN associated with a YSL member, I have not seen it mean of anything other than every slime play nasty.
And you said you could see a sorority girl with a star on her, correct?
Correct.
And you could see a University of Georgia football player with ESPN on their arm too, correct?
Correct, but they're both not members of a blood gang or YSL.
Okay. Mr. Kokomo, can I get you to come up? May I approach again, Your Honor?
Me.
We got the DK15 video. Mr. Kokomo is going to show you a video. I just want to know if you recognize that video.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I see it. Would you play a piece of that?
Can I stop for a second? Is that going to show my face on camera?
No, we're not going to.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I'm not going to show you.
Okay, yes, absolutely.
Okay. Do you recognize that video?
I do.
I'm not going to publish this video, but I'd like to introduce DK15 into evidence.
Okay. It's admitted.
Okay, now I'm going to show you a still from the video.
Sure.
Okay, do you recognize that?
I do.
And do you recognize the individual in that?
That is me. I do.
Okay. I am going to introduce DK15A. And it's redacted. Did you pick that redaction?
No objection. Okay. All right, and that's a still from the video?
Yes, it's DK15A. It's a still from the video, and it's been redacted to remove the image of Investigator Viverito.
Thank you. It's
Okay.
admitted.
Would you please publish DK15A? Okay. Who is in this still image from DK15?
That is me.
Okay. Do you recall when this was taken?
That was on March 9th of 2020. I'm sorry, May 9th of 2022
And where was it taken?
at 355 Allison Drive, Northeast, Atlanta, Georgia, 30342.
And whose home was that at the time?
The home of Jeffrey Williams.
And where in the home are you?
Should be the master bedroom closet leading to the bathroom.
And in the video that you watched, which I'm not publishing, again, because it has your image on it.
Correct.
What are you doing at that point in the video?
We're inventorying the jewelry and items that are in the home.
Okay. And is this image that is taken that's part of your inventorying procedure in the home? Is that correct?
It's a documentation procedure, yes.
Okay. And do you recognize what you're holding in your hand in this still image?
I do.
And what are you holding in your hand?
A watch of some sort.
Okay. Do you know if do you recognize that as a Richard Mille watch?
I guess, yes.
And that's a pink watch, correct?
It's pink and either pink and light pink or pink and white, yes.
It's a pink band, correct?
Correct.
And it has a white ceramic, I'll call it the body of the watch.
White, yeah, I guess it's white if you say so, yes.
Okay. After you took this image and you did this inventorying process, where did the watch go after this?
If you watch the video in its entirety, we're inventorying everything in the closet. There's a bunch of small boxes everywhere. So if you watch the video in its entirety, you take it and the watch is photographed like this, box is closed, it's taken and put up on the shelf in the upper left-hand corner, and the inventorying continues. And then jewelry starts getting packed up and getting ready for the evidence team to come and take it down to property.
Okay. Since November the 4th of this year, have you spoken to the state about this particular watch, the pink watch with the white band that I've been calling the Richard Mille or Richard Mille watch?
To the state, no, but I've seen the Twitter coverage of it going missing or whatever you want to.
Maybe.
Well, no, I mean, there's a camera in here. They know that it's being live streamed. You just are not supposed to be watching it. And you asked that in the evidence. So
Well-
just keep moving.
I wasn't watching the trial, but my name.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Just keep moving.
Okay.
Unless you need to approach about something
No,
else.
that's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So tell me, and I'd like to know about this. Tell me in the whatever coverage you saw, what did you learn about this watch that came up in this trial?
Sustained. Well, yeah, sustained.
Okay. So after this watch was inventoried and you left it for, I'm sorry, who did you say takes the watch after the inventorying
Okay.
process?
So if you watch the video in its entirety,
Which I can't show here, but go ahead.
But if you watched it, like I watched it, the watch gets boxed back up and placed up on the shelf, and it gets left there by the team as as an accident, it was left there. The home was then turned over to Mr. Williams Sr. and Mr. Garfield Lamond to take possession of the home.
And is it the normal process when you're taking jewelry from the home or high-value goods that you leave behind a $500,000 watch on a shelf?
First, I don't know the value of it. Second of all, like I said, there were numerous jewelry boxes. It was, if you watch the video, everybody in there had on body cameras. I was made sure I was on camera at all times. There was cameras throughout the home. So you would be able to see if one of us removed a watch. The box remained in the closet. And like I said, the home was turned over to Mr. Williams Sr. and Mr. Garfield Lamond, who were the two people on scene that took custody of the home for Mr. Williams.
Okay, can we go back to my question?
Sure.
Sure. Is it the normal procedure to leave high-valued items behind when you're doing a search and then a seizure pursuant to a warrant?
Objection, Your Honor, that wasn't answered.
It wasn't answered, Your Honor.
Overruled.
I don't know if there's necessarily a procedure on what you take or what you don't. Like I said, it got left behind. There were other things, like other items of evidence that I had asked to be taken, such as photographs and artwork that had relevance to this case that were left behind by the evidence team. It was quite a big operation. There was a hostile crowd gathering at the bottom of the driveway, so we were trying to speed it up to get out of there.
So are you telling me that law enforcement has no procedure with what you do with high-value items that are subject to a seizure warrant?
Objection, relevant, it's asked and answered at this point.
Okay. So the watch you say was left behind. What else wasn't done according to your instructions at the home that day?
I believe there were two pieces of artwork that were, one was Mr. Williams in a general uniform with snakes on his arm, and then one was Mr. Williams as like the Jesus at the Last Supper with all the people around him that I thought were relevant that were not taken. And like I said, it started to get pretty hostile out there, so we were trying to speed things up.
You said that there were many people with body cams in the
Correct.
home at the time. How many people, approximately, at the time of this raid of the home, let's call it that, were wearing body cams?
Almost everybody.
And did these body cams capture Mr. Kendrick within the home?
I believe they caught Mr. Kendrick running from the home.
That's not the question I asked.
They caught him outside of the home. I don't know how to better answer
Well,
the question.
it's either a yes, no.
No.
Is there body cam image of Mr. Kendrick within Mr. Williams' home?
The body camera image I saw was him running from the home.
Is there body cam image of
No.
Mr.
Answer
Williams
yes or no, and then you can explain.
in the home?
I haven't reviewed it, all of the entry team's body camera, but no.
Okay. Did you see Mr. Kendrick in Mr. Williams' home?
On that, by the time I arrived at the location, the entry was already made. So I did not, no.
You did not? Okay. There were approximately a half a dozen firearms found within the home, correct?
Correct.
Have you seen any images of Mr. Kendrick possessing any of those firearms?
I have not.
Have you seen any images of Mr. Kendrick near those firearms?
I have not.
There were drugs found in the home, correct?
Correct.
Did you see Mr. Kendrick with any of those drugs?
No.
Did you see Mr. Kendrick anywhere near any of those drugs?
No.
As far as you know, was Mr. Kendrick in actual possession of any of those drugs?
No, I wasn't there when they made entry.
Have you spoken to anyone? No, let me take that back. Did you speak to Mr. Kendrick at all at that time?
I did not.
Okay. As far as you know, did Mr. Kendrick have any of those drugs? As far as you know.
As far as I know, no.
And as far as you know, did he have any of those guns?
I just know he was in the home where they were located at some point that day.
Okay. Let's talk about the mob ties video for just a moment.
Yes.
So in that video, at the very end, right, we have Mr. Kendrick saying, excuse my language, saying, knock it off your big homie bitch, correct?
Correct.
Do you recall how many times that line was stated prior to Mr. Kendrick uttering that line at the very end?
Multiple.
And it was stated by 24 Heavy, Ricky Hill, correct?
Correct.
And I believe he states it 3 times, right?
Correct.
So Mr. Kendrick is just repeating a line that someone else has written or someone else has said. He's repeating that at the end, correct?
I'm not sure who the writing credits go to, but he did say it at the end.
He's not freestyling it in that it's never been heard before in the song, correct?
Well, it wasn't part of the song. At that point, the song had ended, and he yelled it.
But it had been said 3 times before in the song, right?
Right.
So you're aware there's post-editing that lines can be put into music after the song is recorded, correct?
Right, but the context of how he was saying, the way he said it wasn't going along with the song.
Ooh, this is interesting. Tell me about that.
It was after the song had concluded, and he kind of yelled it out with Miss Raven, and I forgot who else was with him.
How do you determine that a song has concluded?
The video, the way it's portrayed in the video. I didn't edit it. The way that it's portrayed in the video has ended, and he utters it at the end after the song is concluded.
So what training have you had in music to know, when a song is ended in a particular video, when there's an utterance after a song is ended?
I guess how I know when a song ends?
Yeah, how do you know this in this video? Like, you've had training and expertise that tells you when a particular rap song ends and then something is just blurted out afterwards?
I mean, I've listened to the song independent of the video, and that's not on the track.
But it's in the video, correct?
Right, but when the song concludes, it's not part of the track.
Can we put up, which one of y'all are throwing up exhibits? Can you put up 512 VV? Yes. Mr. Atkinson, thank you so much. sorry, just give us a minute to get it up. Oh, okay. Okay. We'll talk about something in just a moment while it's going to take a few minutes for this to get pulled up, okay? We'll come back to it, I promise. Again, I'm going to go back to the closet, and I apologize for jumping around.
Sure.
When you're in Mr. Williams, did you call it the jewelry closet?
No, it was a closet where there was a jewelry and other things, money, other things were stored.
Okay. When you're in that closet, do you recall in that video that you mentioned how valuable that watch is when you pull it up?
I don't believe so.
I can play that for you so you can hear that.
You can. I don't. Yeah, if you'd like to.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
I'll be careful.
Are we playing the video or just the audio?
I just want to do the audio, so I'm going to make sure we can get that done.
Well, that'll not pose a problem.
I want to make sure we can technically do that without having an issue.
On it, okay. I mean, he could just play it from his laptop if that's an easier way to do it, as long as the jury can hear it.
Okay, can you turn it up?
Just put a mic next to your speaker on
we can
your
do it from here.
laptop.
We can do it from here.
Ferguson Coach Lane? Yeah. All right, so just so you know, all the cars, minus the Mustang, contain either thug or guns, name it.
I'm not sure that's working. There's a lot of an echo there.
We'll just play it for you so you can see that. I just don't want to risk your image being shown.
I appreciate you, Mr. Weinstein.
Ferguson Coach Lane? Yeah. All right, so just so you know, all the cars, minus the Mustang, contain either thug or guns, name it. One of the vehicles with one of the horses contain whispers and
I'm gonna put all the jewelry in this. We have an evidence bag.
You don't hear it in there?
I don't make that remark, no.
Okay. What was the first watch?
I made it, like you said, I made it about the first watch that made it to
Made it about the first watch,
Yeah.
which was also a Richard Mille watch, or Mill.
I don't
know how to pronounce it. So you did make it about the first Richard Mille, just not the
That is
second
in
Richard Mille.
evidence.
Okay. But they're both Richard Mille watches, correct?
I mean, there were several much more expensive pieces of jewelry that were there also. And this is not my first case with a lot of expensive jewelry.
Here you go. Did you get it pulled up, Mr. Atkins? Oh, great. Thank you. Okay. Let's go back to 512 VV for just a moment.
Okay.
Would you read that line below again about running like Ricky?
Yes.
And what is the import of running like Ricky?
It's from a movie,
And what movie is that from?
Boys in the Hood.
And what's happening to Ricky and Boys in the Hood that running like Ricky has become a meme?
He's getting gunned down in a drive-by shooting.
And what's he doing when he's getting gunned down?
Running.
And he's running down an alley, correct?
Yes.
And he's running at a pretty good clip away from the vehicle that is shooting him with a shotgun, correct?
Correct.
Okay. He's not standing on the sidewalk, right?
I didn't insinuate that.
Sorry?
I didn't insinuate that.
No, I didn't say you did. I'm just
Okay,
asking
yeah,
you a
no.
question.
He's running.
Okay. And he's running directly away from the shotgun that's coming out of a car to shoot him, correct?
Correct.
Okay. This picture here of I guess it's Duke, it's Martinez Arnold, correct?
Yes.
And Diamante Kendrick. This is from June 23rd, 2020, correct?
Correct.
And that is approximately 5 years and 5 months after the killing of Donovan Thomas.
Yes, this picture was more so of importance to me to show the alliance between the Crips and YSL.
Oh, that's right. That's a hybrid gang, right?
Correct.
Okay. And a hybrid gang is kind of like a nose of wax, right? It's something that you can twist and pull so that any type of characteristics that you find can meet the definition of a gang, right?
That's not true.
It isn't true. Why wouldn't that be true?
For example, this hybrid gang with Mr. Arnold, this came about when Mr. Keith Troop died and Mr. Williams gave the eulogy at Mr. Keith Troop's funeral. And if you listen to Mr. Kitchens, he tells the story about how Mr. Williams was put in charge to take care of Mr. Kitchens and guide him. And he's the one that kind of took them under their wing, and it was okay. And Mr. Williams was the first one to cross color lines when it came to gangs here in Georgia. And they were first uneasy with that, but Keith Troop explained to them, no, it's okay, this is something we do now. So that's an example. And the Department of Justice defines hybrid gangs as a gang member's participation in multiple gangs, vague rules and code of conduct, gangs or different gangs collaborating together to commit crimes. And there's several other definitions, but it's not just something I made up. The Department of Justice defines it.
No, I know. And what I'm trying to understand from you is I've seen multiple gang experts come in here and talk about definitions of gangs and definitions of hybrid gangs. And it just appears that if a group of individuals don't fit your definition of a gang, that they automatically get classified as a hybrid gang. I'm asking a question about hybrid gang.
Well,
Can you explain what a hybrid gang is?
yes, I gave you part of it. It's traditionally a neighborhood gang or local gang that tries to take on the identifiers of a traditional gang. Like I'm from New York. The gangs in New York are much more structured. The gangs in LA, Chicago are much more structured. I apologize for New York. The gangs are much more structured here in Georgia. You'll see there are neighborhood cliques that will adopt the identifiers, like YSL, for example, adopted the identifiers of sex, money, murder. They were sex, money, murder based in the beginning, but then Mr. Williams decided to do his own spin on it. Like I said, when he was very close to Keith Troop, when he was deceased, or prior to that, like I said, if you watch, there's history about it where Mr. Kitchens talks about he was sent to go help out Mr. Williams at one point. And at first he was uneasy, like, oh, do we do this? And he said,
Slow down also.
Yeah,
It's
just-
sustained,
yeah.
take your sake.
and that's,
I'm trying to understand, without giving examples, if you can define hybrid gang.
it is a neighborhood gang that takes on pieces of traditional gangs. And like I said, you'll have individuals from different gangs working together. You will have the mixed use of identifiers, like we've seen through the presentation of evidence here. Like here, this snake and the blue heart for the Crips. Vague rules and code of conduct. Sex, money, murder, bloods have a rank structure. I don't know a rank structure within YSL. So they take pieces of what they like and they put their own spin on it, but are still backed by a traditional gang.
So a traditional gang would have a hierarchy, correct?
Correct.
But you, according to I believe the testimony we've heard, YSL as a gang doesn't have a hierarchy.
They don't have, but the Goodfellas, for example, they have.
I'm asking, let's go back to my question.
Right.
What YSL?
Right.
The witness didn't explain her answer.
Well, the answer wasn't responsive to my question.
Overruled. Go ahead and ask your question.
Okay. YSL does not have a hierarchy as a traditional gang does, correct?
They don't have a set of leadership like roles, no.
Okay. So in that sense, they wouldn't fit into the definition of a traditional gang.
But they're still welcomed by members of the Sex, Money, Murder, Bloods.
Can you just answer my question?
Yes.
Okay. So my question was, they don't fit into the definition of a traditional gang.
Correct.
So instead, they get slotted over to this catch-all category of hybrid gang, correct?
I wouldn't call it a catch-all, no.
Okay. I don't have any further questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Weinstein.
All right. For a minute, let me just ask y'all a scheduling issue.
So, Survivor Nation, Doug and Shark did not come to play with Viverito. I don't know why she has such an attitude on the stand. She's showing all of her true colors and how she's biased against YSL. And I don't even know if she really understands the damage that she's doing and how she is coming across to the jury. If at home we are able to pick up on her sarcasm, her just thinking that she's just the perfect detective that can do no wrong, and we don't even see her. We can just hear her, but we can hear it. I'm going to just say that the Richard Milley watch was either taken by somebody else from Fulton County, or Viverito has that watch. It's mighty funny that she is pictured with the said watch. So why would you take a picture of something and put it back up in a closet in the corner? Who's remembering all of that? So right now, my mind is saying Viverito done stole a goddamn watch, y'all. Viverito done stole the watch, y'all. Can't nobody tell me different. Viverito, you need to magically make that watch appear and say that they found it, because they taking you to court. So now, getting on to the video I got of Simone Hylton this weekend on video, because she was out letting off some steam from all the pressure of being in court, and she was throwing that thing back, y'all, with that same old wig on. She had on her glasses, and so she went home, looked like she just put on some different shoes and socks. But Simone is here throwing it back. You hear me? Do you hear me? She is out here throwing it back, and I hope that you enjoy the footage I got of Simone this weekend, throwing it back out there in the club. I was shocked to see her out there. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, she was out there giving that thing up. So y'all just clap it on up for Simone. We're gonna clap it on up for Simone. Did you hear me? Do you feel me, pretty Ricky? Do you feel me? Because she was out there doing the god-dag-on thing. Now, let me take y'all on out. It wouldn't be me if I didn't tell you all to get your mammograms, fill on your boobies to make sure that you are all right. All right? And don't you ever let anyone come into your house and disturb the peace that passes all understanding. I am Survivor Speaks, and I'll see you in the next video or live stream. I gotta go, y'all. Peace. Love. And here, Greece. I'll see y'all tomorrow at the YSL Trial. And I'm out.
Full cycle, I just might though just like a Michael. Mama gone now, I'm thinking death is now we entitled. And it was me versus me, them battles had to fight through. And when you way in the dark, them